Hello again, friends and family. I hope that you guys are feeling blessed, feeling wonderful today. I have another revelation I want to share with you guys. I hope that it's beneficial to you. I believe that it will be. So, I know that a lot of people want to be blessed, right? Don't you want to be blessed? And I think that I know I've spent my fair share of time asking the Lord to bless what it is that I'm doing. And it's like, man, how do you know? How can you know that the Lord is going to bless what it is that you're doing? How can you be positive that the Lord's going to bless what it is that you're doing? I've thought about the different ways that people think about how they might go about getting the Lord to bless what it is they're doing. And it's like, well, are people, it seems like, you ever notice how, like people in the clergy or people who, like if you've ever seen someone be healed by a person, you assume that the person who prayed for the person who got healed is like close to God, is like, doesn't have any problems, is not struggling with sin in their life. Like they've got it nailed down, right? I mean, geez, they just prayed for someone and they got healed, right? You hear a pastor, preach an unbelievable sermon that speaks right to your heart, and he's talking about how to overcome sin in your life, and you just assume, well, that guy for sure has it figured out more than I do. I mean, he's probably not struggling with sin in his life as much as I am. And or you think, that person's just more righteous than I am. Like, surely you have to be righteous to be blessed. Surely you've got to be holy to be blessed. Surely you've got to have everything nailed down to be blessed. Hopefully you can sense the sarcasm in what it is that I'm saying, because you can't be any of those things. All of those things are given to you as a gift. There's no such thing as making yourself holy or making yourself righteous, or making yourself godlike. Not in the sense that you have the power to do anything outside of what God gives you the power to do. And so, to me, this is a brilliant strategy. Do you want to be blessed? Do you want the things that you're doing to be blessed? Then do what it is God's already said He'll bless. Get in line with God. I heard a guy put it this way: your alignment is the thing that dictates whether or not what it is that you're doing will be blessed. So, in other words, when you pray, instead of saying, God, will you bless what it is that I'm doing? You say, God, what are you doing? I want to do what it is that you do. The Bible says, Jesus says, I only do what it is I see the Father doing. And it's like, wow, if you just stop and think about that. I only do what it is I see the Father doing. Was everything that Jesus did blessed? Yes. Everything that he did was blessed. He never casted out a demon that wouldn't go. He never tried to heal somebody that wasn't healed. Like everything that every miracle he tried to do, he did. Why? Because 100% of what he said or what he did was what he saw the Father doing. Jesus laid down his godhood in order to become man. Like when if he hit his finger with a hammer, he was a carpenter. Surely he hit one of his fingers with a hammer. It probably hurt like crazy. And, he probably was like, ow, I mean, he probably responded to that. He was a man. He sweat like we sweated. He bled like we bled. He had pains like we have pains. He had urges like we have urges. He had, stomach aches and hunger. I mean, he dealt with all of the stuff. He set aside his godliness, he set aside his omnipotence, his omniscience, his omnipresence to be man, so that way he could walk in the way that we walked and experience the things that we experienced, including all the pain, strife, and struggling with life. with this body that we're in for the time being. And so I want to tell you and I want to encourage you that if you want to do something that is for sure going to be blessed, do what it is God's already doing. So what does that look like? Like, what do you mean, Mike? When you say that, what do you mean? Well, you know, I have found myself a lot lately, especially before I make these videos. I'm like, Lord, let them hear you and don't let them hear me. I have nothing good to say and I have nothing good to offer. Every good thing comes from you, which means I have nothing good to give. All I can do is hope that somebody gets a little glimpse of you in some of the things that I'm saying, because the Bible says your word doesn't return void, and I'm quoting your word. So I'm counting on you for this. Like, I'm asking God, what are you doing? So that way I can be a part of it. Who am I supposed to serve today? What am I looking out for today? God, be present with me today and help me speak into situations you want me to speak into. Help me bring peace where there's not peace. Help me bring light where there's darkness. Help me encourage people who are discouraged, and help me lift people up who are down. Help me relieve people that are anxious. Like, help me, God, help me do what it is that you're already doing. And you know what? I have confidence, 100% confidence, that if that is our attitude, and if we are consistent and persistent with that, that God's going to bless everything that we're doing, because you're doing the will of God. Ask him what his will is for you and for your day, and then go get in it. And so I hope that this is encouraging to you guys. I hope that you're blessed beyond measure. I hope that you are, living the good life. I hope that you are high on a mountain right now. But guess what? If you're down in the valley, God is with you. God is with you, even if you're in the valley. In fact, especially when you're in the valley, God is with you. He doesn't leave his sons and daughters. And so for those of you who are in a valley, I'm praying for you. And I hope that you are blessed, and I hope that you're getting encouraged by these videos. I love you guys. You guys have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.